Hello. I don't know where I just set my phone. Oh, how y'all doing? Just waiting on Mr. Andre. What are you stuck on this thing? Mr. Godbody was good. Hey, Mimi. Hey, Godbody. I'll narrate for y'all until Andre comes. Everyone else is popping in. How y'all doing? Oh, there the brother is. Was good.
Sorry, I'm a couple minutes late.
No, you're
Regular
good, bro.
show was on. I got caught up in the moment.
Regular show.
Yeah,
Man,
one pull up.
I told you about that. You need to be watching Adventure Time. Don't nobody care about regular
No,
show.
Adventure Time was inferior compared to this.
You're drunk.
Honestly, that would be a good poll. What was the better show? Regular show, Adventure Time, Amazing World of Gumball. Like
Gumball's funny is HE
Gumball
double
is
hockey
pretty funny.
sticks.
The girls obviously just discovered Gumball, but they've always been a fan of regular show. Regular show's great.
Yeah, because you make them be a fan of it. You forcefully influence them, my guy.
I don't think that. I don't think that it's. I think they just became aware and became enlightened as to what quality animation is. And I think this segues perfectly into the topic, right? Weak minds versus enlightenment. If someone is
Yeah.
persuaded, is it because they are weak minded and just been influenced, or is it
If,
because they became aware of their own ignorance? Who knows?
if you
I don't
prefer
know.
a regular show,
You're weak minded. If you like Mordecai and Rigby, you're just wrong vehemently.
no. I mean, I do go. I do like the regular show, but I just Adventure Time is my thing. I'm all about the questing in the loop, my guy.
I respect it.
Questing in the loop.
Yeah, I think for me, this is there's just so much nostalgia. But I don't know, man. I'm intrigued. I know I got to give it a chance. But by the way, I gotta know now: is this just us, or is JP Dougie gonna also join in this one?
I can remind her again. I told her earlier than I normally do, so we'll remind her real quick, and then we got 5 in here, so I can read off my little spiel before we start talking.
For sure, man.
Oh yeah, and also, even though there's only 5 people in here, I'll say it again at the end. Andre and I talked about it. Every 100 milestone, us, we'll do a little raffle. So when we hit 200, I don't know, maybe 300, maybe 200. I don't know how I'm gonna get everyone's names because I don't know how you can see who subscribed to you. Maybe we'll take one episode, we'll announce it a few times, take one episode, and I don't know, have everyone let it be known somehow.
Hey, no, I think that's a cool little giveaway that you're doing. I think that's pretty cool.
We had talked about it earlier. I asked you, was it a good idea or not?
No, I think it was. I wholeheartedly do. I just know you gotta be careful though, because if people hear that, then they're gonna just try to run your pockets. But hey, everyone, so sub to this guy's channel. Every 100 subs, he's gonna give away $300. They're just gonna swarm. We're gonna get to 1,000 by the end of the week.
You're a big time attorney, bro. That ain't nothing to you. Ain't nothing in your pockets.
Hold up. That's not true.
I'm just, I'm a bum. I'm like
You are
Oscar.
the
Oscar.
one. You are the one participating in the great game, right? That's not me. That's you.
The great game, bro.
Great game. Great game. Great game.
Great game. All about the great game. If you're free.
Peace, man.
I just text. Whoa. On my phone. I'm gonna mute for 1 second.
You're good, man.
That bless my ear holes.
No worries. Actually, you know what? This is a perfect opportunity to talk about tomorrow. So, for those that are on, tomorrow's episode of Rules and Guidelines is going to cover again another round of a misdemeanor or felony. I really enjoyed doing it. I hope everyone else did as well. It's just a good way to become more familiar with the law. And for me, it helps me strengthen my own understanding. So, I really appreciate it. But also, I thought about it, and I thought, why not get into next episode, Rules and Guidelines, going into something a little feisty. So I think next episode for Rules and Guidelines is going to be assault and battery. It's going to be a fun episode. We're going to go in depth with each element. I'll go over some case law. I'll go over examples of where the element's satisfied, where it's not satisfied, and we'll go over common defenses. We'll go over self-defense, defense of others, mutual combat, which always is a fun one to argue. Words versus actual action. So I hope everyone enjoys tomorrow. It'll be a good time.
It will be a grand old time, guys. Yo, is my arm on? Did my arm die? No, it's just not on. I turned off my camera for a second.
No worries. No worries. Are we doing any upcoming street interviews or no?
Yeah, next time we link up, I told you when you hit the VFW. Oh, also, y'all, I had mentioned the business interviews. So, veterans that you can say have made it in life or hit the American dream. We'll have to redo Mr. Andre's father because we got it, but for some reason we didn't get any audio.
Yeah, I got to figure out how to screen out with FaceTime.
Right. But look out for it. It'll be sometime next week. I'll post it. The Sunday we should be doing an interview with. His name is Sergeant Major Kent. He's the 16th Sergeant Major of the Marine Corps. He owns his own government contracting agency. It should be pretty good. I do or I don't. And I can't say. I don't know.
Learning his name when I was a boot is always going to be so inspiring to me. He was the first name I ever memorized. I can't wait to tell him that. Like, hey, look, by the way, when I was still earning everything and became a little Marine, you were the first name that I memorized, Sergeant Major, Kent.
Sergeant Major of the Marine Corps, Sergeant Major Kent.
That's what I did. Honestly, bro, it's crazy. It just makes me laugh. I hope he did. Oh my God, I'm not gonna lie. That sounds so bootish, but I don't care. It's crazy, man. It's crazy.
Right.
Come on.
And then as soon as our buddy comes back, I will read off our little opening.
Yeah. Because you have to use the controller. Oh, the controller? Where's the controller?
So today we're going to have a about, individuals, leaders, and followers. I'm going to start off with individuals. So I'm going to read off this thing that I wrote since I took time to type it out. All right. The importance of being an individual. Being an individual means embracing your unique qualities, perspectives, and experiences. It's about understanding that each of us has a distinct story to tell, shaped by our backgrounds, passions, and values. Individually empowers us to express ourselves authentically, as for some of y'all, and to contribute our diverse viewpoints to society. When we celebrate our individuality, we foster creativity and innovation, leading to breakthroughs in various fields, from art to science. Am I breaking up, by the way?
No, you're good. I'm listening. I want to make sure I understand.
From the arts to sciences. Additionally, being an individual encourages personal growth and self-discovery. challenges us to reflect on our beliefs, question norms, and carve our own paths. This, goodness gracious, authenticity is crucial for, well, I might have made a typo, for only when we fully embrace who we are can we inspire others to do the same. I put a little typo in there. I had to remember what I was trying to say.
No, I get it. I get it.
Cool.
So then I guess the dilemma is the dilemma that individuality is compromised with group thought. Is that where we're going?
I almost feel like that's like more at like the end when we kind of just going over all three of them.
Okay. So then what's the next one?
Oh, you want me to go ahead? All right.
Well, no, I guess are we digging into one, because you just provided a summary, an explanation of individuality, and I guess my thought is, are we talking about the positives and negatives of that concept? Are we talking about its detrimental impact on society? Where are we going?
Honestly, in my head, I was thinking more of, for me, the positive impact of being an individual, more so for yourself,
Okay.
and I guess you can add that to society as well.
Yeah.
Because and then again, because so basically, I separated it, and I could have did it all one thing, but I said, what is going on with my arm or my hand? I separated it as individuals, leaders, and sheeple or followers.
Okay.
My hand was on. That's what was going on with me.
Hmm.
So I
So
can put it
then,
together.
based on those three concepts, individuals, leaders, and sheeple, is it
Mm-hmm.
is it mutually exclusive, meaning you cannot be a individual and a leader, or an individual and a sheep, or a leader and a sheep? You have to be in one class.
You're taking my talking point that I was gonna have at the end. I was pretty much gonna throw that question out there at the end. You just took it.
Well,
So
all right, my
let's,
bad. Then we'll build up. We'll
no,
build
you're good,
up.
bro.
Well, I
Let,
guess
let
my
me,
thought is, all right. We're digging into what an individual is. Who's an example of an individual?
you.
Or you? Or you? So then,
Eh,
anyone, yeah,
well,
anyone.
okay, I can
Ultimately,
say
I think
anybody because
that's a
I know
better
of a lot of dummies.
approach.
I know of a lot of dummies, but look at you. It's always easier to talk about someone else. You went your own direction. You went from studying philosophy to what am I going to do next? I want to be a professor. I want something that's not going to be too hard to get into, and then you got into one of the harder things to get into. You was trying to be lazy, and you fooled yourself.
I'm not gonna. It does come off that way when I say, "Oh yeah, I didn't want to get my PhD. I got my JD." So yeah, that does sound a little different. But I do
We
appreciate the
pick up Trump
sentiment.
right now. God, by we bigging up ourselves. All right, big me up,
Well,
big. We'll
I
big up Trump later.
fair enough. I do think you are probably a more appropriate example of what an individual is. And I think another aspect of individuality is uniqueness and qualities or traits that aren't shared universally. And I think you, again, without being repetitive or redundant, you are a prime example. At a very young age, you joined in the military. Is that unique? That's unique to a what? I want to say anywhere from 1 to 4% of the American population. That's big. On top of it, you joined a very, very exclusive group. You joined infantry. Again, not a commonly, pursued or embraced MOS. A smaller, even smaller portion of the percentage of people that join the military. And let's keep it even more
And
frank.
very
You
small
then got
guys that look
deployed, which
like
is
man.
not common. Say again?
I said, and definitely a little bit even smaller for guys that look like you and I, because a lot of people that are friends with both of us, they're like, yeah, no, I ain't doing all that. I'm just I joined for a job. I'm not doing all that. But we
Very
have to
true.
join infantry.
No, yeah, and I mean, again, you joined the military. You joined a very, very small MOS. and then you were even one of the smaller groups of individuals who actually went to fight. And I think even to take it a step further, you had a selfless quality and attribute that showed and distinguished you by your willingness to serve and how you served. And I think that it could have been easy for you to simply say, hey, I'm not going to do that, or hey, I don't want to do that, or hey, I'm just going to do this, or hey, I'm hurt, I can't do that. I do think that that is a prime example of how your ideology, your way of thinking, results in that label being appropriate and you being an individual. So I think that those are great examples. Um, I'm intrigued though. I'm intrigued by this whole leader now. I'm kind of
I can jump
I
to
want to
it and
hear.
then jump back when JP gets in, if you would like, or if you want me to.
Oh, is she coming?
She says she'll be writing a little bit.
Okay. No, we can. Or I mean, again, I don't want to rush. I'm intrigued by these concepts. This is interesting.
Uh, it's 2 hours.
Well, I guess this is question one. Is uniqueness required in order to be an individual?
That's a good question, man. Is unique? No, I don't think so. I mean, unless that's what makes you unique. But I was gonna say, I think you can pull what you would call normal traits from different places, from different people, different places, whatever, so that you're not exact cookie cutter to one person or one group or whatever. And
Okay.
but put that in a order that you're doing your own thing. But and then again, that could make you unique too. So I don't know, man.
I agree. I'm inclined to say that being an individual kind of necessitates a unique aspect of the individual. But I mean, at the same time, is that inherent in us? I mean, I am not you. You are not me. You are not my dad. My dad is not you. So numerically speaking, we are by default unique. So, and I kind of think does that mean it's kind of built in? And if so, is does that to a certain degree lessen the importance of individuals? I don't know. I'm inclined to say so, but
Before I
yeah,
respond to what you said, you just made me remember something. I was thinking about it not too long ago, and then I was kind of like, well, some people, it kind of seems like, like you said, everyone is unique in a way, but with like some people I've met and I've seen them different times in my life, or some people I've more recently met. I almost feel like I can say that we're definitely a lot more of individuals when we're kids, and then it's almost like you hit a Y or a fork in the road. I notice that some people get older, they it seems like a lot of people start to lose that individuality hardcore, or some people embrace it even more. And I think that's where we get sayings from, like sayings like worker bees or ants or hive mind.
hmm.
And we get like, the creatives, the artists, the thinkers, the builders.
Well, what is the correlation of growing up and uniqueness kind of fading away mean? Because I'm inclined to say, just based on hearing that maybe it's a trait that is only embraced when you view it as a beneficial quality, right? When you're young and you're youthful and you're not so aware of third party perspective or societal pressures, you are yourself, right? For example, I loved professional wrestling as a child. I wanted to be a professional wrestler, and that's all I wanted to do, right? And I didn't really
Mhm.
care about what others thought. I just simply did that. And it only was once I was older and I realized how it was perceived that I was more inclined to steer into a more acceptable industry. JP, what's up?
Hi.
So
What is
Nikki,
your definition of individual?
My definition of an individual,
Yeah, what is it?
I think it depends on the context.
You're killing me. Warlord, give her a brief synopsis of what you kind of provided earlier. I think it really summed it up pretty well.
Man, we said a few things. What part?
Well, mainly you talked about qualities or aspects that kind of make an individual that. And it sounds like we're
Oh,
both kind of supporting the notion that uniqueness to a certain degree is a quality, but at the same time, it's embracing and kind of resisting certain notions and being true or, you know, unadulterated towards yourself. And there was other portions, Warlord, that you read. I can't remember them.
yeah. Well, so okay. So basically, me, what I was saying, Miss JP, I was saying, well, overall, I guess what I'm saying is, I kind of feel like everyone is unique and an individual up to a point, and then I feel like I'll say 50-50. I'll say half of us start to lose that individuality as we get older, and the other half of us kind of blow it up. We become even more of an individual. A lot of cookie cutter MFs out here.
Yeah.
I know that's alluding to a different concept, so we won't go too far over there. But yeah, I think that's a fair summary.
I think like I said, it depends on the context, but in general, an individual is somebody who has their own individual like viewpoints and opinions and stuff like that. Whether or not they make those things known or they're outwardly expressive of those things really doesn't matter. In general, in a general sense, um, every I think everybody has that, right? Everybody has what they have opinions about, what they have views about, what their own morals are, their own ethics, their own moral compass makes people individualistic, or individualized. It makes individuals, whatever.
We're there. We're good. So then,
sorry, I was
no.
Anyway, so I think that everybody has that. It's just whether or not they have the courage to express it.
Okay, so then you initially said, and I want to make sure I'm understanding that you don't necessarily have to express it, because I could have swore you said those unique qualities or perspectives or opinions don't have to be expressed in order to be an individual. But in order to be an individual, you're saying to a certain degree you do have to display it.
No, you don't
You
have
don't.
to. No, I think that everybody has those individual things that are specific to them, their own opinions, their own viewpoints, their own value system, their own moral compass. Everybody has what is individual to them, and that's what makes them an individual. But whether or not they have the courage to express it is a different thing. Because I think in general, everybody has that. Everybody.
So it sounds like we're using. It sounds like interchangeably we're using the terms individual and unique. Is that fair?
I'm using individual because that's what you asked me. I don't know.
No. I just no. Yeah, I just wanted to make sure that is. I mean, that's fair, and that I think we're all agreeing with this notion of uniqueness and individuals being almost interchangeable. Is that fair, there, Warlord?
I don't think they're interchangeable.
Okay.
I would say so.
Individual and
Where's the line between individual and stubborn? Well, I'm individual. Larry is stubborn. Warlord is stubborn. There's the line. Just kidding.
She wasn't joking. She meant that.
Probably wasn't a
It
joke.
wasn't a joke. It wasn't a joke. That wasn't.
Sir, how about you introduce yourself?
Good day to the lovelies. Oh, good day, sir. Lovely ma'am. My name is Teddy. It's a pleasure to meet you both.
Pleasure to meet you.
What's your name?
Teddy.
Teddy. Oh, okay. Nice to meet you, Teddy.
You call me Bear if you want to. You know, rar.
All right, you're about to get down. You're,
I
you're
know. I'm sorry. My goal is to just. I know my instinct to annoy you is so high. I apologize. Back on topic.
So
Back on topic.
I believe one of the mornings I explained that this gentleman's whole family is pretty gangster. For some reason, he's the oldest child, and he's an outlier
Soft. I
to
know.
put
I'm a teddy bear. I'm so sweet.
in good order.
there's a guy here where I'm from. His name is Teddy, and everybody calls him Teddy Bear. So I legit was about to call you Teddy Bear before you said that. But
La
now that you
la.
said it,
Oh damn
I
it!
don't feel like I can.
I ruined
I
it.
feel a little inappropriate.
Ah.
I want to push
Ah.
back. I want to push
He
back.
might be on something, y'all. He might be on something. Sir, you are up here with the former police officer and a attorney. Just, just,
Federal,
just,
please.
just be easy.
Hey. Allegedly, I plead the fifth every time. I don't
There
know
we
who you're
go.
talking
That's
about.
a
I don't know
great
your
rule
name.
to
Who is this?
have. Always do that.
I don't know. I don't know who we're talking about. I don't know
There
who's
we go.
Teddy. Who's this person talking about? I don't know.
I'm sorry, Mr. Andre. Were you about to say something?
Sorry. I apologize.
Oh, is that my?
No, you're fine. I wanted to push back against this notion that individual and unique are not interchangeable. And
I don't believe.
I'm just inclined to say that they are. If you have aspects and qualities that are not shared with others and are one second.
Having
Go.
individual means that you have aspects and qualities that are not shared with others. I think it
Okay,
means
so then
own like you have your own thoughts, your own opinions, your own ideas, your own views. You have your own moral compass, your own value system that you go by. That's what being like to me. I think that's different than being unique because when you're unique, you do have things that are not the same as other people. Everybody has their own value system, their own morals, their own like everybody has that. That doesn't mean
it sounds like you're saying the same thing. It sounds like you're saying
I'm not
everyone
sure I can
has
find
their
the.
own. By all means, Teddy.
You know, I'm not sure I find the difference either because individual has their own values and independence, and they have their own thing system. But unique is the same way. How they're both the same one identity, same person. I'm unique. I want to. I hate to use the word special, but individual could be considered special the same way unique can. So you're unique. You're individual. You're special. It's all the same type of putting a different tier. It doesn't mean one's better than the other, but it seems like they're both just saying that, like an outlier, you know, or just something that's different against the norm. It doesn't
so.
actually have
Give it.
any value to the actual ranking. I could be
Let me
wrong.
elaborate more, and maybe what I'm trying to convey might come across. So, say that everybody sees the color blue, right? The majority of people see the color blue. They see the color. Well, let's use green. Majority of people see the color green. It's green. Green is green. Is green is green. That's how I feel about individuals, right? Individuals, they all have a viewpoint. They all have an opinion. They all have a moral compass. They all have um, a value system. Green is green is green is green. But then you get that one person that's colorblind. Now you're throwing unique into it. Now they're not necessarily the same as everybody. Yes, they see colors, but green is not green. That's unique. They have something different than everybody else.
Okay, so I want to make sure I understand before I respond. You're saying that individuals, as in every person's perspective of a particular object, is just that, numerically speaking, that person's individual perspective. You are then saying, however, amongst that group, there may be individuals whose perspectives in and of themselves don't align with the general consensus. That would be unique. Is that correct?
Um, elaborate on the first part of what you said.
Okay.
I have a,
With the Teddy, what's up, buddy?
I have a quick question, real quick. So is this the perspective of the individual or the people around him? Because individual unique can be defined by, who's the viewer. So individual could be someone's self-identity versus the audience. So someone could be individual from their own, in their own perspective as one person, but unique can be viewed by an audience. So an audience is technically unique versus individual, because I can say I'm unique and individual, but only talk about myself. I think that that's where the line is. Like, who's judging that? I think it's the same thing, basically, but who's the audience? Is it you or is it people around you?
Teddy,
Good
yeah,
question.
that
Sorry.
no. Teddy did it. Teddy did it. Ultimately, I think Teddy brought up the biggest warrior concern with that approach. That approach is your determination of that quality unique is now dependent on a third party. And if that is the case, then who? Yeah, exactly. It then becomes circular because now we are now having to verify with another third party a quality or attribute that is only determinable by another third party. And it just keeps going and going and going. Yeah.
Thank you.
Really quick, we got a comment from somebody in the audience who, I mean, he can easily put it in the chat or jump on the panel, but he texted to me. He said, "You're talking a very broad spectrum on just saying individuals. I'd
Yeah.
say there are leaders, followers, givers, and takers. Period. No in between." That's what this gentleman said. I won't call him out since he ain't in the chat, and none of y'all know him
Okay.
anyways. But
Well, I think that's it. But see,
I
now
did it like
but that
this
talks about what we
on
mentioned
purpose.
earlier, this mutually exclusive aspect of
Yeah.
the division of these classes. So that's an interesting take. It really is.
Yeah. Just so y'all know, it's like I did it this way on purpose. I had planned to bring each piece in at a time, like probably I was thinking 40 minutes apart is pretty much 2 hours divided in three. But we can speed it up if it makes it easier to have the conversation. I can speed up, add the other parts, the leader and the follower.
Again, it's up to you, man. It's up to you. I think right now we're kind of ironing out. I don't want to say it's semantics. I think we're just ironing out how this particular class is distinguished. But when it concerns that mutually exclusive aspect, that's going to be very important. Is it something that is shared? Can it be more than just the confirmation of another to determine if you are X, Y, or Z? So I think that we can, if you want, we can bring in the second concept of a leader. Um, but that was a good catch, Teddy.
I'm in here.
Uh,
Thank you. That actually means a
so
lot for me.
I'm just typing in the comment real quick.
I don't think I'm high enough to be on this chat.
Who's high? What?
Nobody. What? I would never ever smoke the devil's grass. What do you mean? I would never do that.
The
Shit.
ganja.
You're Jamaican, like stop playing, bro. It's in your blood.
What? I'm not doing anything right now. Hold on. Be right
I'm
back.
solid like 8 times.
We're
All
doing.
right, we about to switch
I'm being
into
facetious. I'm
something
being silly. I'm being silly, guys. Don't. I'm
weird.
not. I'm not being silly.
I'm gonna jump into the second part.
Okay.
I really wasn't prepared to read all this soon. I'll speed read it. All right, leadership. Leadership is about more than just holding a position of authority. It is a profound responsibility that requires vision, integrity, and empathy. Man, it kind of sounds like some. Well, I won't say Marine Corps military stuff when we was getting our talks in,
Yeah.
doesn't it?
I sense some propaganda type of talking, not wording.
But empathy. Effective leaders inspire and empower those around them, creating an environment where individuals feel valued and motivated to contribute. Leadership also involves making difficult decisions and standing by them. Even when faced with challenges, a leader listens, learns, and adapts, recognizing that every team member brings something important to the table. By fostering collaboration and open communication, Leaders not only drive their organizations forward, but also nurture the next generation of leaders. Ultimately, a great leader understands that their role
A
is
father.
to uplift and unite, creating a collective vision that draws from the strengths of each individual. That's my spiel on leaders.
Like a coach or a father, you mean? Like a That's what I'm thinking, like a coach for like a football game. The same, you probably send into a coach in football.
Yeah, a position in a
That's
yeah,
one
an
way to look
individual
at it.
position of
Team
influence.
captain, whatever. That's one way to look at it. Just leader.
Yeah, but
And
that definition also implied that it individuals fall under leaders, correct?
it
That's
can,
implied. That's implied.
but so it's like how. Well, okay, I'll say in my opinion, it can. You know how we got the saying, too many chiefs, not enough, and then the rest of it after that,
Yeah.
Trying
finish
to be
it.
politically correct here. Bro, you know you would have said the whole thing if I wasn't up here on this panel.
Say it, Larry. It's
I
the
thought
warlord.
about, I
Say
thought
it,
about it
warlord.
right
Why are you so scared,
there.
warlord?
Do
As
it.
you froze,
Do it.
as you
You won't.
froze, I
You
thought
won't.
I was like, wait.
Stand on
Yeah, he won't.
I was like, no, she froze, and I thought like, no, her camera froze, not her camera froze, and I thought about it, and because homeboy keeps pacing, so he keeps making me go to the bottom of. I don't know how we're set up for you guys, but for me, those are at the
He
bottom, so
is
it keeps
dancing
making me
around
go
it.
down.
You didn't want to say the same, warlord. That's crazy, man. I never
oh,
thought that I'd see the day when warlord get
oh, you scared? You scared now?
Anyway,
he's
Oh, you're so
scared.
scary.
Teddy.
the point is, but then at the same time, again, three of us has been in the military. Three of us has heard some of the same briefs, liberal briefs, safety briefs. Somebody gets in trouble, they threaten to take away our weekends, stuff like that. And
Yeah.
the military kind of inspire. At least the command we were under. I can't speak for all of the Navy. I can't even speak for all of the Marine Corps, unless you're infantry. But because I've been running to quite a lot of older people that's been in the Navy, and they're some dummies. Not to speak for our parents. We obviously our parents aren't dummies, but anyways, but it's like they inspire all of us to be leaders, correct? But at the same time, we're to follow lawful or proper commands. So it's like that's kind of the way I've always looked at it. Does that answer what you're saying to me?
That's pretty optimistic.
Huh?
I mean,
I
I
can't.
think it's optimistic because technically you can, if you're a troop, you can turn down unlawful orders from your command. Technically, right? Technically, you're allowed to do that. Say, this is
I mean,
unlawful command, and
on paper,
yeah, on paper you can do that though. Like technically, that's supposed to be the way you're supposed to. It's supposed to be like that. I thought you can. I wouldn't
I
know.
don't think
So
I've ever been given a unlawful command or command that I needed to question that hard. You know what I'm saying? So I don't
yeah, that's
know.
my thing.
The two that was in the
I've given
military.
unlawful order command from the head of our district when I was in federal law enforcement, and I straight told him no. I said no, I'm not doing that, and he asked why,
Word
and
there.
I
Hold
explained,
up.
and I said why I'm going to do that, and he. Here's the thing: is they are in a position of power, and there's nobody policing these positions of power, so they're able to get away with what they want, and they're able to prevent promotion. They're able to blackball you and blacklist you so nobody else picks you up. They're able to come at you if you don't obey these unlawful orders. And that's exactly what happened for me.
Yeah,
So
Um,
then,
I respect that.
with your last comment, got body. I've never felt like that. No, I can truthfully say, at least as far as my direct leaders, as far as like my platoon sergeants, platoon commanders, Like I've had some dummy team leaders, but they were young just like I was at the time when I was fresh. And then I was probably a dummy every now and then as a team leader. But as far as my direct command goes, I can't say I've ever had anybody bad in my direct command. So I can't fully
So,
agree with the last comment, Godbody.
so I wanted to ask this: is it fair to say that all leaders are individuals, but not all individuals are leaders?
No,
Ooh,
I'm
No, it's
not
not
doing
ooh,
fair to
cross.
say that.
I don't think so.
hold on.
All leaders are individuals. Not all individuals are leaders.
Under
Yeah.
I
leaders.
can. If I'm hearing it right.
No. Yeah.
Not all. Or all leaders are individuals, but not all individuals are leaders.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, actually, yep. No. I agree with JP because I also
Yeah.
known some people that were hardcore brown nosers that got meritoriously promoted because they were hardcore brown nosers.
Why? But why is that all of a sudden now viewed as not unique or individualistic? Why? Like,
Because you're not
Brown.
doing, you're not, you're not doing, you're not being a leader, right? You're not being a leader. You're being such a follower to the extreme of kissing someone's ass that
uh,
you're not standing up against what is not what like not is what is not right in order for what is right. Like you're not standing on business. You're not like, and when he was reading the definition of leader, the leader stands on business regardless if it's uncomfortable or not. And when you're sucking up so much, you're not standing on your own values, your own morals, your own views and opinions. You're trying to kiss ass to promote.
who's to say that their views, standards, or opinions aren't such that it requires them to respond accordingly? And I guess maybe in order to address this more effectively, we do need the definition of follower. But to me, in my opinion, I do necessarily think that pursuing leadership in and of itself is unique, is it not? It just seems you can hear me.
I can.
I can hear you.
I just saw JP mouth and she can't hear. She's pointing to her ear, her glasses. She's
Oh,
doing this. She's casting a
I don't
spell.
know.
This sounds like
Bibbidi
that's
bobbidi boop.
yes, that's magic. That turn off her screen, Warlord. This is
Hold on,
no, but
I'll
I
type it in. JP, so you still can't hear? Oh, okay, she's coming.
Oh,
yeah.
were you joking? Or you cut her off? Or
Nah, she's probably going to jump back in. But I
So I
guess
can
my
cut her off.
response is that to a certain degree, the pursuit of a leadership position is unique in and of itself. It's not a commonly possessed quality or trait. And I think to a certain degree, that would allow for the inference that you are an individual insofar as you want that or you strive for that. Now, once in the position, if you want to gauge their qualities or decision making, then I mean, maybe, but I would say that requires an understanding of that person that most don't have. I don't want to use real individuals, or we'll make up a leader. We'll say President Bilbo. President Bilbo wanted to become president. That, again, is unique and it's something that is not commonly shared with others. I would say that would result in the classification of individual. However, if you think, well, you should, you should, through the focusing upon your own principles and morals and values, make decisions for the collective and their well-being. That is how you continue to remain and maintain that class or status. I don't know, but I do think, and I guess that's the only reason why I wanted to make the maxim or suggest such a principle, is that I think we might get caught up with with the with the required notion that you have to display this uniqueness, whether it's by promoting your own moral view or by establishing um, and propelling your own agenda in order to continue to remain that individual. I don't necessarily think that is accurate, because you're only an effective leader insofar as you remain leader, right? Like, you could be as unique as you want to be, but the moment that your uniqueness causes for you to be compromised as a leader, don't you think that now you've negatively impacted your ability, and now I wouldn't even say you're a leader or an individual. You're just I don't know. I'm inclined to hear the definition of follower because it just seems like we got we
Quick
have
question.
some. What's up, buddy?
Yeah, is there a uniformity between leaders? So could you say like all captains are the same, all staffers are the same? Is there a level of uniformity between the leadership? Like is there some sort of like standard between them? So
No.
I
like,
would.
is there like a scale or level to it? Can you say someone's more leadership than another, but they both have the same,
I mean, that's a great question. We can even take that question back to the original class, right? Are there people that are more individualistic than others?
Yeah.
I think that argument requires the explanation or the summary of what a follower is, right? Because then we would be
Okay.
able to
That
determine,
way.
hey, are you more follower than leader? Well, if you're more follower than leader, what does that mean? Or if you're more leader than follower, if you're more leader than individual, what does that mean? So I think that it would be appropriate or it'd be a good time to address that third concept. But I think that's a good question, Teddy. Could you be more leader? Could you have more of a leadership essence compared to others? I think that's a
It's
good
like
one.
it's a skill for it, if anything.
Yeah.
I feel like you can like what's the word people like to use? Oh, I feel like some people kind of exert that
Onomatopoeia.
charisma, not onomatopoeia, that charisma
That's
better
the
than
word
other.
people like to use.
No, it's the word
It
you like to
is,
use.
but
But definitely, I'll say you would say some people has that charisma, and then at the same time you would say some people you kind of don't notice them. They're kind of in the background until those other leaders that does notice them kind of puts them into a leader position, and then you kind of notice them, and you're like, you know what, the things that this person's done or the things that this person has said, yeah, I feel like they do qualify to be a leader.
like questioning the like questioning the upper brass type of thing, or like is that like rebellion or just actual leadership?
Or is it being a
No, those
follower?
Father too could
right.
be the same example. Yeah,
The context that it's under.
What, JP? Is it not? I mean, what? It just seems, again, we need a summary of what it is to be a
Being
follower.
argumentative for argumentative sake. You're not being argumentative for any real like good meaty dialogue. I feel like you're just simply disrupting the whole
Thank
conversation
you.
just to keep it unstable.
Why do you say that?
Because everything anybody says, then you're like, oh, well, is it that or is it this? Well, is that this or is it that? Rather than elaborating on the conversation and like going with it, you're like, here, let me throw a Lego for you to step on. Oh, you stepped on that Lego? Okay, cool. Let me throw a coffee table out so you can hit your pinky on that one.
I don't try to do that. I think really what I'm trying to do is cause for you to question your stance so that you could either determine A, that it is a solid position to hold, or B, it's not solid, and then you need to reevaluate your position. I mean, if you want to just move a conversation along, it would require him to provide a brief summary of all three concepts, us talk about all three concepts, and then talk about the ability to possess one of them, all of them, or none of them. We could do that. Would that be an hour? Would that be 20 minutes? Would that be 15? It's up to you. However, I do think that to a certain degree, we need to hold ourselves and others accountable if they make statements or declarations and two or three questions cause for their statements or declarations to be challenged and results in it being not as certain or not as substantial. I mean, I could smile and wave if you want me to, but at the same time, what would that conversation be? An echo chamber?
Get the same you can get the same um conclusion by asking for the person to elaborate rather than like, is it this or is it that? Is it this or is it that? Is it that? It's like, okay, I hear you. Elaborate a little bit more. Give me some more context to that. Let me hear what you think about this or that. Like, encourage the dialogue, but also allow them to elaborate on what their stance is, so you do get those questions answered.
I think that's what we did.
Okay.
I don't know if I'm wrong, right? I mean, didn't we do that? And then we asked a question. Hey, I'm
I'm
just
gonna be
saying.
honest.
I mean, huh?
I said I'm gonna be honest. I'm mostly trying to listen, but I'm also looking at three different things at the same time. That's why sometimes I'm like, am I answering what they said all?
I'm listening, but I'm afraid to agree because I think we did too. I think that happened, but I'm not 10 toes down in it. I'm listening too much, so
Really quick,
I don't know.
Teddy, for you being the youngest person up here, for some reason today you
I'm
looking
a baby.
old as hell. But also, just
I didn't get a haircut. I'm
don't
so
be
mad. I'm supposed to.
just it's like, how do I say it? And I'm not saying that that you're doing this. I'm just saying it's like it's easy for me to bring back examples using the military and stuff like that, but it's like you don't have to
It's hard for me.
jump
That's
in.
why I keep asking.
Yeah, and that's fine. That's perfectly fine. I'm just saying, ask what you want, say what you want, just make sure it makes sense.
Yeah, honestly, I'm not good at categories. That's why I have to. I always ask as a question. I don't try to offend
No,
anybody or get it wrong interpreted.
you're
So I'm not kind of
you're
careful
not
when I
gonna
talk
offend
about it.
nobody.
I don't think it's stupid. I'm trying hard. I'm trying so hard not to sound. So I keep redacting my some lines,
Hold
but
up,
No, man, you're
really
good.
quick, really quick, really quick. Did you say you're trying to show her? And I
no.
noticed when you first popped in, you only said hi to JP and Mimi.
I mean, I actually know. I mean, I talked to him on chat a lot when I ever harassed you. So kind of. And Mimi, I know.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Did I? Am I being rude? I don't
No, no, no,
know.
no, no,
I don't
no.
know.
I'm not saying you're being rude. I'm just saying, if you feeling two people that's up in here, you feeling them. That ain't nothing wrong with that. I was just asking a question and just making an
Yeah.
observation that I noticed. You just kind of said hi to
I
those
don't
two.
want to sound the. I don't want to sound the bully. Like I'm just like I said, I'm
No,
kind of the weakest link in here. I'm kind of I don't say the weakest
you're
link, but I'm kind of the youngest at least.
you're taking
The
what,
least
what I'm getting at
experienced.
wrong.
Yeah. If I come up aggressive or mean anyway, let me know. And always, you
Hey,
can just
Teddy,
text
I
me or
don't
just
think that was
tell
at
me.
you, brother. I don't think that was at you. And I
No,
do want to say one
Okay.
thing before we can continue. All right. I don't, I'm not a contrarian. I'm not going to be the guy that's, hey, your argument's wrong because of this. I guess,
I see that. I see that.
yeah, I guess really what was the main point is ultimately if you have a stance or a position and after a few questions your stance or position is clearly flawed, then if I would have simply just asked you elaborate, you're going to continue to elaborate a flawed position, which is why you do need to either provide some type of dichotomy, you need to question the reasoning, you need to do something to force individuals to either face their flawed reasoning or become aware of how flawed it truly is. I don't think that you
Okay.
spoon feed people that. I think you do it by giving them a mirror and showing them. Maybe that's wrong, and I'm not trying to be
Mm,
like that, but
that
at the same time, it doesn't
I
work
like
if you
that.
just simply say your position's wrong. It doesn't work that
You're
way.
good at pointing out fallacies and evidence for the fallacies. I like that. That's actually pretty smart and really like lawyerish. Like that's a really good. That's actually a really good trait. Goddamn. Being able to point out fallacies, ask to prove the fallacies, and then not attack, but open them up. Yeah, I like how that works.
Hello.
Huh, smart.
Excuse me. Excuse me. Andre, I don't appreciate how you got hired as my lawyer and you have been neglecting my case. I'm going to report you to the motherfucking board.
Take his bar. Take his bar.
Shut up, Teddy. He don't practice
I'm sorry.
in
I'm sorry. I'm joking. I'm being
I'm
silly.
just
I'm
saying.
sorry.
I feel like I'm being neglected by my lawyer. I'm going to lose my case, and I don't feel confident.
I'm sorry you feel that way.
Hmm
How are you?
all right.
I'm great.
That's good to
Who's
hear.
this guy?
Teddy?
Oh, it's a pleasure to meet you. My name is Teddy.
Hi,
Ta-da.
Teddy.
Oh, this way. Ta-da.
I don't know. I
Pleasure to
don't
meet you.
know
Oh my
what's
God,
going on
he's
with. I don't know what's
Teddy.
going
Are
on
you
with.
crazy like me?
Oh, you wish you were as crazy as me. You don't
Oh,
want that
I
crazy.
said crazy.
You don't want this crazy. Yeah. You don't
I
want the
think I
crazy
might
as
be
me.
worse.
I'm with you, man.
Ooh, don't test me. Don't test me.
I
Don't
think we got
test
two
me.
individuals. I think that's all that means.
I'm gonna start finished that
Who
conversation, and
knows?
I'm gonna drop him,
Don't
bro.
drop him.
You was on 80 right
I'm
now.
sorry. I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna stop right now. I apologize. I apologize, nasty. I'll
Were you
behave.
The
being mean to
pacing,
JP?
you're making me question things.
Were you being mean to JP? Because I will put you in a headlock.
No one was being mean to
Don't tease
JP.
me. Don't
Oh,
tease me.
Oh,
I was just
oh my
asking.
lord.
Oh, he's
No, I don't think
creepy.
anyone
I'm
was.
done.
I don't think anyone was being mean or targeting anyone. I think that the Socratic method sometimes isn't as valued as it should be or as it used to be. That's all.
Okay. Hey, Teddy, do you like nubs?
Uh, cripples.
Yo, hurry up so I can get on to the third part.
I'm sorry. I'm getting down.
Uh,
Answer a question.
so like cripples?
Yeah. Stupid. All right.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I get what you're saying, God
You,
Body, and I think you're right.
you're going to you're going to kick me out. I know. I'm trying. I'm trying to be a good person.
Like, bro, I don't know what you want right now.
I'll
You got to
behave.
take it.
I'm sorry.
You know
You
what?
got to.
I'll behave.
You need to be locked up, bitch, because you look like a fucking mental patient. Don't ever fucking call me a motherfucking cripple out your motherfucking mouth again. Be
Okay.
I would
respectful, damn
never.
it.
I'm putting the
Okay.
words.
Okay.
I'm putting the
All
I'm
right.
Saying
getting
words.
that,
down.
you saying
Okay.
that to me?
Okay. So
I'm sorry. Now it's like a piece of shit. God damn
you
it.
you
Ugh, ugh.
Warlord,
Yeah,
I think you should
yeah.
go to the
You're
next
making this look
concept,
silly,
buddy.
bro. You're making this look silly. Make me man. I'm gonna have to have a talk with him one on one. Let me get the next concept. I'm just trying to catch up with the comments.
You, Warlord, this had to happen. We needed to have episodes like this.
What? Nah, bro. Homeboy is all over the place. He's blinking and he's looking all weird. And I'm like, what, bro? What are you?
Not even that. We got pissed off
For
JP. We
me,
got
that's what it
Bear.
is.
We
Nah.
got just a crazy episode. This had to happen. This had to happen. At least it had to happen. We had to get it out.
See, I told him about that though. See, I will say I'm gonna share one of Teddy's stories. One of my homeboys visited, and then Teddy called and he was talking crazy. So and I was like, Teddy, you know me. You can joke with me. Don't joke with him. Teddy kept talking. Homeboy was ready to kill Teddy, like legit take his life. Like these dudes don't play like that, man.
I want to say first and foremost, I don't ever want to come off as just like, I don't know. I don't want people to just think that I'm the gotcha guy. That's definitely not how I am. I'm a firm believer that if you have a stance, it
Oh,
needs to
you still
be
talking
able
about that?
to, huh? Well, it's just this episode took a turn, man. It took a turn. So
Mm-mm. No, it's not you, JP got to take care of some stuff. I'm gonna
mhm.
read the third part. In contrast to individuality, the leadership, we must acknowledge the dangers of failing to think critically for ourselves, often resulting in a sheep-like following. In a world saturated with information and opinions, the inclination to follow the crowd can lead us to abandon our values and judgments. When we cease to critically evaluate the idea presented to us, we risk perpetrating misinformation and unchallenged norms. This blind following can stifle innovation as new ideas and perspectives are drawn out by conform. I messed this up when I was reading out loud earlier. Conformity. Conformity. Say that word for me, Andre.
Deformity.
I'll just say that's what it is. Moreover, it can create a culture of complacency where individuals hesitate to speak up or share their unique thoughts for fear of being different. Ultimately, without critical thinking, we lose our agency. We become passive participants rather than active contributors to our communities. By fostering a culture of critical thinking, we empower individuals to lead with confidence, challenge the status quo, and affect meaningful change. So that was that, and I'm gonna go ahead and just read the conclusion, since it kind of I think it'll be easier for you and what you're trying to say if I just put it all out. In conclusion, embracing our individuality, stepping into the role of a leader, and fostering critical thinking are all essential for personal and collective growth. Let's commit ourselves to these ideas, ensuring that our voices are heard and our unique contributions shape the future. I want to say thank you.
I
Really quick.
so
Well,
say again, buddy.
really quick. I just not thought about it. Sonny, Teddy doesn't know you. He doesn't know who you are. He's trying to be stupid to me. I punched him in his stomach a few times for that. All right, go ahead. I just not thought about that. I should have thought about that earlier.
No, so when it comes to a was it a sheep or a follower? What was
Sheeple
it?
follower.
Sheeple follower. Okay. I guess my one thought is, does that require there to be a correct stance? So I guess in my opinion, right, I think a common situation in which labels such as these are used is in the political arena, right? Hey, this person believes X, he is a sheep because he has not critically thought about this position. Or this person's an individual because as it pertains to the topic of F, whatever that topic is, they have analyzed it and they have thought for themselves and have come to this particular conclusion, therefore individual. And I guess my question is, does it require there to be a true or factually accurate conclusion? This is wrong. If you do not agree that it is wrong, then you are a sheeple, or this is right. If you believe that this is not right, then you are an individual because you are critically thinking. Do you get my question?
Say it one more time.
Okay. When it comes to the labeling of a person's as sheeple, does that require there to be a factually confirmable answer to a question? So, just to be plain, guns are bad. We should take all the guns away. If a person believes that, are they sheeple because you disagree with the answer, or are they individuals because you think that they've applied reasoning and and difficult analysis to an issue and came to a conclusion that you agree with?
It
So
depends.
Teddy brought
Go ahead. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I
no
thought
no
I was anticipating your pause. Go ahead.
no I guess Teddy brought it up, and it's the one of the responses that was given to JP. Is this also something that's dependent on third party confirmation? Is this like based on her explanation of an individual? Does this require a third party to say, hey, the stance that you're holding appears to be one that doesn't require in-depth analysis? We're inclined to say that you're a sheeple because you didn't really think for yourself. You just echoed this. Or the position that you hold is one that carries such an such an elaborate and extensive amount of support and obvious reasoning, and you surely did your research, and as a result of that, you are an individual because X, Y, and Z. And in addition, I agree with your stance. So I guess we're going back to Teddy's worry. Is this another example of third-party perspective reaffirming
Let me get the first
my
part.
status?
Let me get the first part of what you said before I completely forget that part and answer the second part.
Okay.
So the first part, in my opinion, it depends on like what's the situation. I remember that's what I was going to say. I just don't remember exactly what you said, but because I'm trying to keep up with the chat and listen and look at this other screen. But I would say with what if I'm remembering and understanding correctly, I don't think it can be just a you are or you are not a sheeple, you are or you are not critically thinking or thinking on your own, just flat out. I think it depends on what the situation is. Like when it goes back to the gun thing, if you're saying yeah, I agree, everyone should lose their firearms. Are you saying it because the crowd is saying it, because the person standing on stage is saying it, or are you saying that because you truly believe you have a reason behind why you're saying that?
And I think that this, because thank you. It's just, I guess what I'm worried about is if I had a reason for my stance or my position, could I still be viewed as a sheeple simply because you disagree with my stance or my reasoning that supports my stance? Could you say, well, no, in actuality, you didn't reason that, you really just think this? Because again, I think Teddy's response is what really concerns me as it pertains to these types of classifications. It's not something that is self-affirming. I cannot myself identify as an individual or a leader or a follower for that matter, or a sheeple. These labels necessitate a third party to either reaffirm or to determine whether or not that is an accurate label assessment.
I don't agree.
You can
I don't agree.
yourself say I'm a leader and be I am a leader. You can say that.
It sounds big headed, but I'm thinking more on the side of you yourself can say, I know that I'm a individual, but and then you also got but the society view you like that. Kind of like with laws, what is the law, what should happen, what shouldn't happen, but things happen anyways. This not exactly following the rules or laws, but because of society accepts it for one reason or another, whether just society ignores it, society has been coached into accepting something as a norm, whatever. But I feel like that you yourself, and I feel like part of being a leader, it starts with you. And maybe you don't exactly say you're a leader, but I think that it's easy for you to say that it's easy that you can easily say I am a individual, or I'm not following what everyone else is doing. But again, to others they can be like, you're lying to yourself. But I do think that starts with you making that conscious decision.
Okay. It's quite the conundrum. Because I do agree. I think to a certain point you have to make the determination on who you're going to be. And I think it will then be dependent upon third parties on what classification that is. Because, and I think that therein lies the rub, right? It boils down to how your actions align or conflict with the general consensus. It seems like we're back to it. It seems like there is group and individual. It's group and person, because I keep using the term individual, but it's group and person, and it's whether or not, maybe this is an oversimplification of it, but it just sounds like it's the collective and the person, and whether or not the collective values the opinions of the whole of the body, and if they don't, I don't know. It's just again, it's quite the dilemma. It is. Um, And we've determined you, and I want to make sure I understood this correctly. So we have determined that you can be more than one of these classes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Can you be all three, or is that also situational?
Because sorry, I was just saying I don't think we determined it, at least within the discussion, because we kind of I feel like we were headed to that part of the discussion, but I don't think we really talked about it. So between you and I, as far as talking back and forth and trying to keep up with the comments, I don't think we've determined that. But we can talk about it and get there.
I think that we should start from the beginning, right? And I'm inclined to say that inherently you are an individual. And I think that I would initially challenge the notion that to be unique is not to be an individual. I'm inclined to say that they are both one and the same. And numerically and prospectively, I don't think that's correct. I think numerically and sheerly based on your perspective, you are unique and you are an individual. And as you progress as a member of society, you either ideologically evolve or you kind of you either evolve or you learn by reaffirming. So you make determinations based on experiences, based on observations, or you make declarations and have that declaration's validity be either challenged or reaffirmed. And I think we as on a whole progress through life this way. So
I was saying thank you to the chat. Go ahead, bro.
No. Yeah. And when it comes to the points of leadership or sheeple, I do think that is just a different point of your evolution as an individual. You can decide that you yourself want to flourish ideologically and you think that your own progression would be beneficial for the collective and then pursue a leadership position, or you don't necessarily have to. But I do think you can be both. Whether, again, I'm not a big fan of the response of whether it's situationally based. I just do think that motives propel us towards a particular class, whether it's self-preservation, whether it's desire for a particular mate, whether it is upper mobility in these societal classes. I mean, whatever that motive may be. I think that's what drives us ultimately towards embracing these one of these three concepts. But yeah, this is an interesting one. I remember I was telling you this, earlier today. This is an interesting one because it is harder than simply just a determination. I think it's more than that. But at the same time, I think it's contingent on others.
I mean, again, I kind of feel like it's always going to be, there's always a mixture of yourself and then also how the outside world, the mass majority, views you. And I mean, like if you were standing in front of your whole city, not just a small group, how you would be viewed by people that doesn't know you. You know what I mean? Like what type of character you would give off to people that doesn't know you, people that does know you, all that together. And obviously, there's no simple way to just test that. But when also like I was thinking, what keeps on coming to the back of my head, and I'm almost like, is it just because I don't want to let go of it, but the way I'm thinking right now, it's kind of not really disagreeing with it, but not pointing towards it, but kind of the saying of, or when people say, usually the best leaders are people that doesn't want the position, or people that's not trying to be leader. They're just trying to get stuff done. Almost like in a movie, I don't know, something like some post-apocalyptic movie where like society's all messed up and stuff, and they're trying to build a little community, and they're like, hey, who's going to be the leader? They always choose the person, the little, I won't say stone cold, but the kind of in between person. They're serious when they need to be, they're friendly when they need to be, they joke around when they need to be, but they don't want the position. They're just there for the community. You know what I mean? It's kind of like that, like that type of thing is like keeps on going to the back of my head.
So then it
Does that make
sounds like to be a leader, you need to be an individual, right? Because I would argue, sorry, man. I think
sense?
I would argue that individuals are people that don't want the position, right? But if individuals do want the position, more likely than not, those striving to become the leaders are the people who want the position. So it's a subset of individuals that are leader that would be your ideal leader is the subset of individuals that are individuals possess qualities that would be viewed as desirable if a leader had them and yet did not want to be one. So
Well, I
it's
mean,
like it's the individual within the individual who's within another group of individuals.
it's like kind of like you're not supposed to answer a question with a question, but it's like I want to add on to what you're saying and then kind of answer afterward. But also, is the person that really wants the position, are they always a bad guy, so to speak? You know what I'm saying? Are they always the wrong person for the position? And I think in reality, in real life, no, they're not always a bad person or the wrong person for the position. They might not be the best, but at the same time, they're not always it. Like I got to do it. We'll use the Marine Corps, the military, for example. When I first got in, I want to rank not because I want to be in charge of people necessarily at the beginning. I wanted a bigger paycheck. You know what I mean? I think that's a lot of people at the beginning.
That's fair.
And actually, I don't know if I can exactly use that as an example, but I feel like most people kind of get the point.
Yeah. You didn't want it for its inherent value. You wanted it for the additional benefits or qualities that came with it. So yeah, that's fair. Like,
Yeah.
yeah. Why do people want fame and fortune? It's not because they want to be famous. It's because they want the things that come with it. Like, nah, man, that makes
Hmm.
total sense.
And also, I think that the military, as far as I know, all branches is kind of designed in a way to push you towards that because to push you towards wanting to rank up as well, not just for the pay, but for everything that comes with the leadership and all that too, because that kind of puts a goal in front of you. And as you know, at the beginning of the Marine Corps, that's a lot of not that's a lot of it, but you get a lot of that. Them putting challenges in front of you. You whatever Jedi mind tricks that happens, whoever put the program together over years and years and years and years and years, you find yourself wanting to make sure that your senior drill instructor is always satisfied with your platoon when you're in boot camp. Things like that. And then as you get to SOI, and then for you and I, BSG, sometimes they had to remind us like, hey, y'all aren't in boot camp no more. It's like you can breathe a little bit, not so much in SOI, but definitely more so at BSG. Well, SOI for those of y'all, it's a school of infantry. Those are for people that's going to infantry, and then for people that's not infantry, what's the like smaller version called again? ITB.
MCT.
Oh,
No,
MT,
I thought it was MCT, Marine Corps Combat Training, or Marine Combat Training.
something
Yes,
like that.
SY and MCT. I think it's MCT. I want
We're
to say it
infantry.
is.
I'm not required to know.
Yeah, there you go. Well, brother, I got to be honest with you. This was a very this was an interesting episode. This was an interesting episode. I will say that. But
don't know why dude came up here bugged out like that. I'm definitely gonna holler at him on the back end.
Well, again, I want to say first and foremost, I always appreciate this. This is fun. It's good spending time with my friend and talking. And again, they say steel sharpens steel. I'm a firm believer in that. So it's these opportunities that allow for us to all, to all get better. So thank you. And again, man, I look forward to tomorrow and doing this more often, man. So I do appreciate it. And I'll keep in touch. Yeah.
Yeah. That also, well, I mean, just for you, not for everyone else, but whatever, you're up here. Text me your topic so I can post it on the community wall.
I will, man. I will. I definitely will. Hey,
Chance.
everyone, you guys take care, and and I love you too, buddy. Take care, Warlord.
Peace out, bro. All right, real quick before I get off of here, since we lost our other co-host, I only read the beginning of what God Body said, but I had already had an answer for it. I don't know, man. I don't know. God Body, I've seen some people where, at least from my perspective, from the outside, it didn't seem like that it really got to their head. And a lot of the people I'm thinking of, they were already in leadership positions when I met them. So I didn't see what they looked like when they first were in leadership positions. Well, I don't know how to answer that. I think that's pretty self-explanatory. Thank you, Gloss. Good. Thanks, gents. No more comments or questions pertaining the main topic. All right. Well, before we get out of here, one more time. Every milestone, 100 milestone up to, I guess, probably 1,000, and then we'll switch it up a little bit. If we get there, we're gonna do a little raffle. I had to get off the phone with Andre earlier, or stop texting him earlier because I had something to do, but I haven't exactly figured out how I'll get everyone's names, but we'll figure it out. All right, y'all. Appreciate y'all kicking it with us for a little bit. What's that?